Hello and welcome back, Site High Tech. In this video, I'm going to show you to make a very bright LED lantern with using 3D printed materials and a very simple circuit to create a very bright LED lantern. Let's get started. And these are the items you're going to need to make for this project. The items you're going to need: two 9-volt battery clips, a buck converter, which will step the voltage down from 18 volts to 12 volts, and a 12-volt LED strand, a push-button lock switch, and a 3D printed lantern. And the idea is I'm going to take these LED strips and wrap it around the cylinder, and then the inside of the cylinder, I'm going to take the two 9-volt batteries and place it inside with the buck converter. And then on top is going to be the push-button lock switch, so that way I could turn this circuit on and off from the outside without the need of opening up this lantern. The only time I'll need to open up the lantern is to replace the 9-volt batteries. Simply place the lid on top of the lantern, just like this, and this little handle goes on top, and this S-hook can be used to hang the lantern in any place you need to hang it. Now let's go ahead and assemble this project and let's get started. Next, I'm going to take the 9-volt battery clips and connect it to the input of the buck converter. Remove the insulation, solder in the wires, take this negative wire from the buck converter and connect to the 9-volt battery's negative. Connect the positive to positive. Take some shrink tubing and cover it. Shrink the tubing to insulate it. And there, the circuit is now complete, and as you can see, it's a series circuit. Test the voltage and connect the 9-volt batteries into place. Take the multimeter and measure the output voltage. And as you can see, the output voltage is about 7 volts. Small problem, the 9-volt battery may not be attached. So as you can see, I was right. The 9-volt battery clip on this 9-volt battery is not connected very well. So now let's go ahead and remeasure the output voltage as I corrected it. And you can see that I managed to get it at 12 volts. That's because this 9-volt battery right here is not connected very well to the 9-volt battery clip. So what I need to do is do some adjustments. You can see that it wobbles too much, so it has a very bad connection. So now I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and bend the connection of the 9-volt battery. Simply squeeze it to make it a little bit smaller, and doing this will give it better contact to the 9-volt battery clip. Plug it back in, and as you can see, it plugs in much tighter, and it holds into place much better. There, that's a better contact. Remeasure the output voltage, and as you can see, it works. Next, I'm going to take these LED strips and connect it to the 3D printed housing. What I'm going to do is take the LED strips and attach it to the cylinder and wrap it all the way around. Starting from the top, so I can take these wires that will be attached to the buck converter's output and place it inside the cylinder. And there, it should look just like this when complete. Next, take the wires from the LED strip and remove the insulation. And I'll take these wires and connect it to the output of the buck converter. Connect positive to positive. Clamp it down. Solder it into place. And then take the negative and solder it into place. Cut off the excess. Next, cut the positive wire from the input voltage of the buck converter. Yes, I have shrink tubed this, but I only did that for a test. Remove the insulation, solder tin it. Take the push button lock switch and solder to the wires. And now go ahead and take the 9-volt batteries and plug it into the circuit to test it out. Push the button. And as you can see, the LEDs light up. It's very, very bright. Looking at this in person, it's actually very bright because this camera has auto exposure, which reduces the brightness. But in person, it's much brighter. Next, take the 9-volt batteries and put it inside the cylinder. Take the buck converter and place it inside the cylinder, and now leave the push button lock switch outside the cylinder. Next, I'm going to take this push button lock switch and place it on the center of this lid. Take my soldering iron and make a small hole, which will be the pilot hole, so that way I can make the hole bigger. Take the stepper drill and make a bigger hole. Take the push button lock switch and put it through the hole. Next, take a generous amount of hot glue and place it over the push button lock switch and the exposed leads of the push button lock switch. Doing this will keep everything insulated and stay in more secure. Wait for the glue to solidify. And now it's solidified, and now put everything back together. Put the 9-volt batteries and a buck converter back inside the cylinder. And now take the lid, push it into place. And there, the lid is now closed. Now let's go ahead and push the button, and as you can see, it stays in nice and strong and very secure. It takes a lot of force to be able to open it again. Opens up just like this, and everything stays in nice and tight. Now take the lid and push it back down, and locks into place. And now push the button, and as you can see, it lights up very bright. This looks very nice. Next, I'm going to take this semicircle ring, place it on top with some super glue, and glue it into place. Spray some activator so that it stays in permanently. And there, it stays in nice and strong. And I can still push the button. And I'll make a quick test by taking this hook, hook it through, lift it up, and it holds into place. And then just simply hang it into place. And it should look just like this. And now let's see how this looks in the dark. Push the button, and it turns on very bright, and it completely lights up everything. This looks very nice and extremely useful in very dark areas. Now let's see how this looks outside at night. And as you can see, it lights up very well, allowing me to be able to see wherever I need to go. Looks a lot brighter in person because this camera still reduces the light because of the auto exposure. And there you have it. Now you know how to make a very bright 3D printed lantern with using a very simple circuit. Thank you for watching SciTech. I hope you learned something new, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and of course click the bell icon to be notified of future SciTech videos. To the next tech, goodbye.